Hey everybody, this is Mechanics Monday. Let's talk speed, let's talk hitting the ball farther. Hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you. We are coming off an unbelievable PGA Championship, and you know what we saw when we had that PGA Championship? We saw a couple of things. One, people needed to bomb the ball. You had to be a bomber to be in contention. You had some of the shorter hitters play good for a little bit of a stretch, Zach Johnson, but maintaining it through the course of 4 rounds, that was pretty tough. The other thing is, we saw, if you were paying attention to before the round, they had a little bit of talk with Bryson DeChambeau, and he talked about how he's been getting these incredible club speeds. And I think it's important to share with people because I think there's a little misconception about how you're gonna generate speed in your swing. Before we do that, again, if you don't wanna miss out on any future Mechanics Mondays, going over drills with your Mevo Plus, we'll make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of that. Now, let's start getting into what we're talking about today. So today is all about speed. So you're gonna hear me say this more than once. When you have speed on the mind, it's not necessarily about how well you hit it, okay? I think you should be working on speed if you have some of your mechanics down where it's, hey, I've got a decent swing, I feel like I hit it solid, but I'm just not getting the ball out there far enough. I think you should go to mechanics first if you're not making consistent contact and going from there. Because when we work on speed, today's gonna be how fast can I swing? How fast can we get this golf club going? And when we do that, it's just like running down a hill. If you've ever sprinted downhill before and you get that out of control feeling, it's really, really out of control and you feel like your legs are gonna fall off and all that. Same thing's gonna happen here. We wanna get the speed up and then we'll work on later adapting the speed so you can hit the ball a little bit more solid again. But again, first things first, pick the low-hanging fruit, get your contact right, and then you can come to the speed. Now, if you are here for speed, you're hitting it fine, but you feel like I just can't get to the par 4s, or I'm not getting to the par 3s or the par 5s, then here you are, we're gonna talk about it. And I think it's gonna be really interesting to talk about how those hands play a role in the swing. And I wanna talk about what Bryson said and how I find it to be really, really helpful for people when we are working on this speed thing. So let's get to the range, let's start hitting some shots and see what we can do. All right, so we're over here on the range. Let's start talking some golf swing here. So when we get speed and speed on the mind, there's kind of 2 schools of thought. One is you're going to be pivoting. I'm seeing this one a lot in golf instruction because people are saying, all right, you got to pivot and pivot faster, and that's going to be what gets you to hit the ball farther. The problem with that is when you pivot, just take this look here. What happens in a swing, your lead arm is going to come across your chest. Now, as I pivot, that arm gets pinned to my chest and it never gets to the full point where the club is going to be able to pick up speed and be able to get that club traveling faster and transfer that energy into the ball. Now, if I work on doing the exact opposite and getting this arm off my chest, now all of a sudden we can get some speed into the club. Now, there are people that can swing and they get this huge turn, but then they can throw that club and get that club picking up speed. What you see a lot of times from those players is they turn and then their body shuts down. Rory McIlroy actually goes backwards in the middle of his swing. They had Matthew Wolff the other day on PGA Championship. They had his 4D motion swing with all the cameras. If you watch his hips through impact, they completely shut down. That's because they get this stretch and then they shut down so everything can pick back up and catch back up. Now, that's very, very difficult to do. What I'd rather see people work on is what Bryson talked about. Bryson talked about when he wants to get his swing, he wants to get the club getting up here. He reaches them as high as he can, his hands, and he's gonna pick up speed with his hands and move his hands faster. If his hands move faster, the club's gonna go faster. Seems pretty reasonable since your hands are connected to the club that would work. And I wanted to try that out here and show how I think that's also very true as we go through and hit some swings. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hit a ball. I'm gonna hit one with more of a pivot feel. Now we're working on speed. I don't care where it goes. I just am gonna look at the club speed number. Okay, I just want to see which one gives me the greatest potential to hit it farther. So here's the pivot feel. My hands aren't going to be feeling like they do a whole lot. And that kind of feels funny doing that one too. Your back has to do something. I mean, I hit it okay. 106 on that club speed. But man, that feels kind of funny. Okay, so that was very pivot heavy. Okay, smash wasn't too great, so we'll see. Now, what I'm gonna do is take this back, and from up here, I'm gonna speed up my hands from the top. When I get up here, I wanna feel like I'm just gonna accelerate my hands as fast as I can to the ball and see what I can do. So we picked up our speed there, 114. So I got 8 more miles per hour. You know, it's kind of the standard formula. You can see is 3 miles per hour, or 3 yards per mile per hour, excuse me, 3 yards per mile per hour. So in theory, that's about 24 more yards. Assuming I hit it good, assuming that I hit it the same way, I'm going to gain that many yards. Now, again, what is this for? Why do we care if we swing it faster? Well, if you're one of those people that think, hey, I can't get to certain holes, then you want to start trying to pick up club speed. It also tends to help, the faster you swing, we tend to see a lot of the other mechanics work out really well. Now, with that said, there's a couple of things we want to address. So why do people talk so much about the body? Is it if it's more about your hands and picking up your hand speed to hit the ball really far? Well, when we're picking up the hand speed, we want to be very careful because on the backswing, we have to be in a position where my hands can travel really fast and get the club to swing towards the ball. If I bring it back, and let's say I don't have my body pivot right and I can't get my hands deep enough, say I have the hands up high, I pick up some speed with my hands, we got a problem. We're going to not do very well. So working on body motion, that can be really, really important as you go. And then on the way through, what you see is, and this is why these guys lift so much and they do so many squats and stuff like that, when you bring it up, and if I'm going to pick up that speed, my body has to brace because it's got to get ready, because if I'm throwing my hands, I got to be able to get my body to clear out of the way so I can swing through and hit the ball. So if I'm going to pick up speed, I've got to feel my hands pick that speed up, but I've also got to feel my body react and help brace and get out of the way as you're going through to make this swing. So again, if you're somebody that needs to pick up speed, start working on your hands, getting them faster. If you're somebody that struggles making solid contact, work on your body pivot. You're going to hit it shorter, but work on your body pivot so you can hit really, really centered contact before you try to pick up speed. Because if you try to go for speed first, you're not going to be able to brace. Your body's not going to move in a way that makes the club, the center of the club, get to the ball, and you're going to have a lot of issues. But again, for those that want to pick up speed, I see a lot of people say they want to hit it farther, and they think it comes from trying to clear their hips faster, get their body going faster. It's actually more about, let's get your hands and arms going faster. Get your hands to pick up speed. You're going to swing it a ton faster as you go. So there's your speed right there. You can see I was able to pick up almost 10 miles an hour by just getting my hands to go faster. And again, a lot less strain on the body. I can still actually feel the one where I was moving my body. It feels a little bit awkward. So I think we're seeing, notice we're seeing a lot of back injuries. We're seeing a lot of things happen in those regards. And, the people that tend to move their hands faster and not, actively torque their body so much, they don't seem to be having those issues as much as they go through their swings. But anyway, the numbers don't lie. That's why the Mevo Plus is great to have on site for this. See how fast you're hitting it and swinging. But there we go. That's how we can pick up some miles. Get those hands going faster in your swing. Again, if you like this Mechanics Monday, click that subscribe button down below. We got more with the Mevo Plus coming up and some more reviews. Don't miss out on it. Again, as always, thank you everybody for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.